Hello and welcome to a new series on this channel called OS Experience. Now, basically what I'm doing throughout this entire series, as I'm calling it, is I'm just looking at various different operating systems, software, desktops and everything else, and basically the general look and feel of any operating system. And what I've got today for the first episode, as I'm calling it, just the first video in general, is this OS called SilveOS. Now, SilveOS isn't actually an operating system. It's developed using Microsoft Silverlight development code, and it's also what is known as a web OS or a Webtop. And basically what they are is, now web OSs can be real operating systems, however webtops are literally just traditional desktops, such as Windows desktops, like the taskbar and start button with the desktop from within a web browser. Now there are multiple different reasons why people would develop such a weird kind of application. Now, in some cases, there are applications online where you need hubs where you have to join all your social media together. Like if you work in a company or something, you might want to join all your social media together into one place, or all your websites. So you'll get these desktops, online desktops, basically online applications, but they're designed to resemble the traditional experience of a desktop, such as Windows and everything else, just to make it more simple for users and everything else. However, SilveOS in this case is actually just a utility. It's got main functions of Windows, but it's just a rebranded version of Windows, basically. Even though it's not an actual version of Windows, it's actually just a kind of like copycat kind of thing. So instead of rambling on, I'm just going to continue, and just want to mention right now that the lock screen image isn't actually the default image, as well as the profile picture. Now, I actually create my own account. What you do is, I think I'll just probably log back out, and you click register now, and just register your own account, and back to login. I already have a login, so I'm just going to log in with my account. And the best thing about having an account is all of your settings save, like such as the desktop wallpaper and everything else. So the first thing you probably notice getting on is it looks a little bit like Windows Vista. However, this is actually a personalised setting that I've changed, quite a lot of settings that I changed here. When it was first launched in 2005, it was actually stylized to look like Windows Vista. However, through various updates, it was changed to look more like Windows 7. Now, not any support, but the developer stopped going into it at about 2009ish. Maybe earlier than that, but the developer kept SilveOS up for people to enjoy, so that's why there's not been any new updates. There's a forum that you can go on, and you can tell what new things you want to add to it, but the developer of this has never interacted with that ever since. You forgot about it, basically. So I'm just going to explore it and just show off what it's like. So, as I say, this is not what you first get when you create the account with it. It's a lot different than this. So I'm just going to make this note here. This is another note. So basically, what you get is it's supposed to stylize like Windows Vista /7. At the side here, you've got a clock. Got a calendar, and you've got a little sticky note stylized thing. And on the other side, just like Windows, you've got icons on the so-called desktop If you right click, you won't be able to see it, but if you right click, it'll just have options for like Silverlight and everything else. Now, can't remember if I've mentioned this or not, but this is basically a web browser kind of thing, so by default runs within a web browser. The only reason you cannot see the shell of the web browser in this is because you can also install onto your main hard drive and use it that way. So that's what I've done. I've installed it onto my main hard drive and I'm using it like this within its own window. So you need Silverlight for this to run, by the way. So if I click on the start button, this is what you get, just a traditional start button, similar to one you get in Windows Vista 7. But the power button actually shuts the application down, and you've got the lock, and that's what you get. You've got two pinned icons at the bottom. You've got a show desktop thing, and you've also got launch internet browser, so it's actually got its own built-in internet browser, which is kind of ironic. So what you get in full is you get the file explorer, so you can actually create your own files within the system. Create your own files, push documents and everything else. Got an internet browser, media player, rich notepad, everything else. So I'm just going to put them all one by one and show you what they're like. This is the file browser. So you're given all different kinds of sources here. It's just a simple file explorer. It's not got the links or showing off like where you are. It's just got links such as cut, copy and paste. You've got deleting the file, adding a new folder to the folder, and if you see my documents, this is the stuff I made in the past. And recycle bin, it's just stuff you've deleted. So I've got note test, randomness, and readme. So I'm just going to show you what these are like. This is the actual notepad you get. And so that's the file browser. So those are all the files that I've got on the thing. Refresh the page, takes you back to the start. I'm going to jump over to Rich Notepad and show you what the Rich Notepad's like. Basically just resembles WordPad from Windows Vista 7. I actually think it's actually more from Windows 7. Based on how it looks, you've got the save and new document areas here, which is all grand. Pretty much just resembles WordPad from Windows 7. Got print document, you've got text, you've got all the simple things, and you even change the font. So I'm just going to write a note. This is a new note from Rich Text, and I'm just going to save it. And it's going to actually save it as a certain name within the document, and I'm just going to save it as Rich New, just because I'm that random, and I'm just showing that it's actually saved in that folder. Rich New is RTE, so that's what you get. Notepad, just a simple notepad, compared to Rich Notepad, which is more like a, as I say, rich text document and everything else. This is just more simple. It's just got the open file, new file, save, cut, copy and paste, everything else. I'll show you what it's like when you open something. Basically you can just open your own files from the main system. You can't actually see the open file dialog from in here, but it is open. So you actually open your own files from within Windows. I don't actually have a file that I can show you. So I've got an RSS reader, so it just spells the stuff that's going on with certain websites through RSS feed. You've got a paint program built in. Very simple, but it's kind of cool. Right, so I'm just going to resize it. Right, and you can even change the thickness and stroke capacity. it's all good. And yep, that opens it from an external note, new and save. So you can save it to your main documents folder. I mean within SilveOS, obviously, not within Windows. And that's all dandy. You've also got a few games built in. You've got chess to start off with. So this is what chess looks like. I don't even know how to play chess. And I've just been killed. There we go, and we've also got solitaire, which is kind of nice. It pretty much resembles the one from Windows Vista and 7. Very modern looking. And it does animate as well, which is kind of interesting. We've also got Spider Solitaire built in. So I don't really know how to play either of both solitaires. Just like classic versions of Windows, you also get Minesweeper, which is a classic game. So I'm just going to start it. So I'm just, oh, hello. Just have a little, oh, dude, that gave me a fright. So you've basically just got a Minesweeper baseline. It just works like traditional Minesweeper. You've got a Twitter feed, but you need to actually sign up, and I don't know how to sign up with that. You've got a Flickr viewer. I can't even remember if this works or not. I'm not going to wait to find out. YouTube viewer, and that the YouTube application doesn't actually work properly. It did used to, it doesn't work now. I'll show you what the web browser's like. Web browser. This is the web browser. It kind of works through Internet Explorer. Depends on the web browser you have open. It'll work. So if you're using this through Opera or Google Chrome, those corresponding, web browsers, it'll work through. However, if you use this, I think if you use this from a window, it actually works through Internet Explorer / Microsoft Edge, because I'm using this on Windows 10, which is why it looks like the modern Google. And I can even go on to youtube.com from this, which is also interesting. And it's all quite nice. However, I get errors coming up, script errors, which is all dandy, not really. So that's the web browser, do quite a bit with it. And this is the start menu. Always script error. And you can also live chat, which is another application you can do. I think because there's not too many people using this, it doesn't really work that well. I think if multiple people use this at the same time, you can actually create a little kind of chat going on. But because it's only me using this just now, that's probably what's going on. Virtual Earth, which is actually just a Bing Maps. I can zoom in, I can zoom out. I'll zoom into London. There we go. River Thames. Now, because it looks like Windows, you've also got the box and a taskbar as well. You've got letters telling you that you're connected to the web internet. You've also got the clock, and as I say, you've got pinned icons at the bottom there. All the games. So this is the other stuff you get. You've got links to the File Explorer, my computer, my documents, and some other interesting stuff. This takes you straight to the forum from the web browser. This is the SilveOS forum that should be popping up right now. Oh dear. This is the SilveOS forum. And backup and restore, so you actually back up stuff that you do. Now, as I say, if you've got an account with SilveOS, any settings that you change will save across all the so-called platforms. Whether you have this installed on another computer, this settings such as the background here and how it's the taskbar is set and everything else will come up on the other person's computer when you have this installed or working through the web browser. If you run this as a guest, the moment you shut this application down, the whole thing resets. So before I carry on, I'm going to go into install program and just show you what that is. Basically, you can install other, mostly Silverlight based applications, whether web browsers, web applications and everything else. Install it from there. You can also locate it from the hard drive as well. Just click install. So after that, I'm going to show the control panel, which is just really simple. Now you get links. You can actually use or set the background desktop through, wallpapers from the internet. There's also got a bunch of built-in ones as well. This is all the built-in ones. It's quite a lot. Let me save that one because I think it's quite nice. Themes, as I say, I set this myself. This is the default one. This is the one you get by default when you first log in. It's literally like Windows 7. You get modern. Now, actually, I can't remember if this is actually the one you get or if it's actually something different. And yeah, very interesting. So you can actually change it. I like classic, to be quite honest. It's quite lovely. Log on screen. This is not the default one, by the way. I did mention this. I changed it as well. And that's what I've set it to now. So if I just lock this, notice that I've changed it. I'm just going to log myself back in. And that's actually quite nice. You can also change your profile picture. And it comes up on the start menu, and also when you log off it's the same image. Change it to a lighthouse. The start menu is probably the only option where you can actually choose an image from local machine, like the local file system. So I'll change this to something Sonic related because I'm a bit of a Sonic fan. So as I speak, I'm actually looking for something Sonic related here. So just bear with me just now. Hang on. Icons. So this is something Sonic related. It's a little ring. Here it's set on the start button, which is something you can't do on Windows by default. You have to actually download the third-party application. Change your password from here, similar to what you get when you select Control Delete on any version of Windows. Changing your password and everything else, ask you for your old password and change it to the new one. Uninstall here. This is literally related to the install program option you get in the start menu. Basically, it lists all the additional applications that are not installed by default on here that you've added yourself, and it gives you the option to uninstall them. I don't have anything that I've added yet, but if I did, this is what it would look like. It would have stuff selected on it. So that's the control panel. So it's quite an interesting little application. And as I say, I've got to mention also is you can also watch your own videos on this. So I'm just going to click and select a video of mine. This is the video player, and I'm just going to look just now. Bear with me just now. So that's the media player, the last thing I showed, and you can actually use your own videos from your hard drive and watch them on here, which is quite a lovely touch. I do personal opinions on here. I do kind of wish you could set your own personal images as wallpapers and everything else. Other than that, SilveOS is quite an interesting little application. Additional notes: if you're using a Windows phone, you can actually find this as an application in the Windows Store if you want to play this on your phone. I'm not sure about other platforms such as iOS and Android, but you can actually use this, as I say, on a web browser, on your Windows desktop. It's compatible with almost every version of Windows, and on a Windows phone device as an application. So this is SilveOS. The developer stopped developing around 2005-2007ish, can't remember the actual date, but the project was not scrapped, it wasn't cancelled. However, the developer stopped developing for it and just left the software up for us to enjoy. So this is SilveOS, and it's actually quite a lovely little kind of web software, and yeah, it's quite an interesting little thing. Before I shut this thing off, I'm just going to show you the guest account, which is the default one. This is what you get when you first start this thing. Icons are a little bit bigger, similar to like Windows 7 icons and everything else. So when I log off, this is the default lock screen background. And as I say, if I sign back in with my account, like that, it saves all of my settings, and also what I've set as the desktop thing as well, which is also quite a dandy little thing. So I am Ricky, and I will see you in another episode of OS Experience. See you later.